Welcome to this radio video, and this is the Solar Activity and Propagation Report number 15 for September 18th, 2014. So how was propagation in the past week? Well, first of all, we did have that big solar flare hit Earth on Friday of last week. And so pretty much Friday, Saturday, we had lots of geomagnetic activity, and signals were, very unusual. Lots of signals from the south. I tuned in the 31-meter band, and the Brazilians were coming in really well. So it gives you an idea that even though east-west signals aren't that strong, signals to the south were really, really good. Also, another example was radio RAE, which is Argentina on 15345 that was booming in, and I made a video that I posted on the channel showing you how strong it was. I rarely hear it as strong as that. And it was also not too bad on 11710.7. I actually heard the English and French language transmissions. Although it wasn't that strong, it was just good enough that you could actually follow the programming. So I did enjoy that also this week. Things quieted down, Sunday, Monday, and we had actually really good propagation this week. And pretty much everything I was listening to was good. Even Radio Thailand, which is kind of a difficult one on 15590 at 0100 UT, was booming in here. So, this week was incredibly good. Solar flux isn't that high, at about 120 throughout the week, but it's high enough to support high frequency propagation, and it really showed because it really, really was working quite well. So this morning, we are at a K-index of 1, which is very quiet. Solar flux is 125, which is an okay, it could be better, but it could be worse. Sun is quieting down, and if we look at the sun's image actually, and look here, we have, very small sunspots on the sun itself. Nothing really, really bad. So there's no expectation of any solar flares for now. Like I said, things can change, in a matter of hours and days, because the sun, being of an unpredictable nature, is always changing. But for now, we are expecting quiet conditions. There was a filament on the sun that actually snapped this week and sent particles towards Earth, and they were expecting to have maybe a little geomagnetic storm with that. We're now on September 18. Nothing really is materialized. I did see the K-index move up to 3 last night, but nothing really that bad actually. If I look at my beacon that I use in the morning, which is KBS World Radio 15575. Really strong this morning at S9, and even going higher than S9 for the English language at 1400, which is quite good. Last night, Radio Thailand reaching S7, S8 on 15590. So propagation is actually extremely good. I really, really hope everybody takes the time to actually do some radio listening, because I think it is really, really worth it. What do you expect? What should I expect? Sorry, for next week. If things stay quiet like they are, I expect the solar flux to remain somewhere around 120 for pretty much all of the week. If we look at the sun here, we see that there are some powerful activity here, and these are some solar sunspots that are behind the sun right now, and that could actually come into view and make the solar activity a little higher. Here on the solarham.net, they expect M-class solar flares, a 30% chance. with only 5% for the X ones. If we look at the K-index data for the past few hours and past few days, sorry, pretty quiet, all in the green. So this means that, you know, propagation, that explains why propagation was so good. K-index stayed really, really low. So, you know, region 2169 is a region to probably check for, because there's, it says here that it had impulsive inflare around the region today. So it means that this could give us some flares as it becomes what we call geoeffective. Geoeffective means that when the sunspot's moving towards the center of the disk, it actually is in line with Earth. So when there's a solar flare that occurs somewhere in the middle of the solar disk, it's actually Earth directed. But things are very quiet right now, and I expect them to probably stay quiet for the next week, and I expect that we will have great propagation. Saturday night is the Google Hangout. Remember that we have a Google Hangout on Saturday night, so if you can, you know, stay here, stay next to your radio and computer. It's at 2300 hours UTC, the Google Hangout. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time here in North America's East Coast. That is 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Of course, it's quite late in Europe, so we'll be around midnight or a little more than midnight. So if you want to watch it live, you'll have to stay up a little late here in Europe. And I expect propagation to actually be good, really, really good for our Google Hangout. So hopefully we'll have some interesting signals while we're tuning the bands live on Saturday night. And pretty much great propagation in the days ahead and up to next week, if there aren't any surprise solar flux and solar activities, you know, any solar flares. So if you want to have all of these indices and look for yourself what's happening, don't forget the 3 websites that I use and that I like a lot: spaceweather.com, down to earth English, what's happening with the sun; dx.qsl.net/propagation, great indices for knowing what's happening. This is the page for the quick look. You know, if you want to know very, very quickly how things are, I go to this page, I look at the K-index, the solar flux. That's all I need to know. And solarham.net, great website, and lots of information on what's happening with the sun and its interactions, and great website to look at. So hope that you enjoy. These websites are great places to go to. Hope you enjoyed these propagation reports, and see you next week for another propagation report. So this was propagation report number 15 for September 18th, 2014, and hope that you enjoy our videos. Thank you for watching. 73.